A very good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Welcome back to the second session. Today we are going to discuss about the types of conductor. The second topic of this syllabus is types of conductor. Previously, we have seen the materials used in the conductor, that is in the case of overhead transmission line. So we have compared copper conductors, aluminum conductors, and alloy conductors. So among these, even though the copper conductor is having more advantages than aluminum, so maximum will go for a maximum some because of some advantages we have selected aluminum for transmission system. Only 57 participants allowed. So okay. So transmission line. In transmission line is nothing but it is a physical instrument used to transmit a bulk power from one place to another place. So which is nothing but a transmission. So while selecting the transmission line, conductors of the transmission line, so we have to consider so many factors. So we have already seen the properties of the conductor, so that it has maximum electrical properties. So based on electrical, mechanical and physical properties of the system, based on the physical, electrical and mechanical properties, we select the transmission line. Just okay. So now today's class, the type of conductor. The ideal conductor has the following features. This is already we have seen in the last class. It has maximum electrical conductivity and high tensile strength. Even though copper is having high electrical conductivity property and high tensile strength, mechanical stress is also more. It has least specific gravity. In case of copper, the specific gravity of copper is very high. Because of this the third feature, so the usage of copper is reduced in case of transmission line. So if the entire cost of the transmission line mainly depends upon the specific gravity. That means its weight of the conductor. So the entire cost mainly depends upon the cost of the conductor, this weight. So because of this, the copper loses its usage, and availability of copper is also very less when compared to aluminum. So because of some of the advantages, aluminum is preferred. Now some more basic parameters if we compare while designing any transmission line. So transmission line means, so it is subjected to mechanical stresses. Similarly, current is passing through that, so electrical stresses are also there, and physical structures, so physical conditions. So based on the physical, mechanical and electrical parameters, so we have to design a transmission line or a conducting material used in the transmission line. Just a minute. Okay. Now the basic parameters of the of the conductor or transmission line is diameter of the conductor, that all know. If the diameter of the conductor increases, automatically the weight of the conductor increases, and thereby we need a huge towers. So diameter of the conductor, even though the transmission line is simply, it is a combination of inductance, capacitance and resistance. The resistance value, so it is inversely rho L by A, so it is inversely proportional to area of the conductor. So that becomes a diameter becomes a major role while selecting a transmission, while selecting a type of conductor. So similarly, weight of the conductor, conductivity area, modulus of elasticity. So conductivity area means, so we can take different conductors, a solid type of conductor and a hollow type of conductor. Both conductors can be used. Either we can use a solid type of conductor and hollow type of conductors, and some more cases there is bundle type of conductor. So conductivity area changes. So it also becomes a basic parameters by selecting a type of conductor. So hollow conductors are used in some locations, some applications, whereas solid type of iron rod, aluminum rods or copper rods are used in some applications. So depends upon the conductivity area. So again, the type of conductor is selected. Modulus of elasticity. So elasticity, so it is nothing but a stress to strain ratio, elasticity. So the next one is breaking strength of the rated breaking strength of the material. So breaking strength is more in case of copper when compared to aluminum. So if we add some more composites to the system, then we can gain back. The breaking strength can be increased to aluminum. So coefficient of thermal expansion. So because of high voltages in case of transmission lines, the voltages are the transmission lines are operated at very high voltages. So because of that high voltages and due to some mechanical, some due to electrical current passing through the conductors, the temperature of the conductor increases. So it is every time, it is not a constant value, that may depends upon the so many environmental conditions, and also some due to environmental conditions and sometimes due to the small leakages occurs at the transmission towers. So we have to take care the temperature, thermal expansion. So because of the it operates at high temperature, some transmission lines operate at high temperatures. So the coefficient of thermal expansion is also important while selecting the type of conductor. Cost of the material. So obviously, so if the cost is less, we'll prefer that material. The maximum unloaded design tensions, the next one. So unloaded design tensions means generally while designing any transmission line, the internal forces because of the design, because of the shape of the conductor, there is some forces experienced internally in case of transmission line. So because of these tensions, so that maybe transmission line may get affected. So thereby the entire system may get collapsed. So we have to consider the maximum unloaded design tensions. So tensions are present not only on the conductor, internally there may be so many tensions based on the structure. So we have to consider that also as a parameter. Resistance to vibrations or gallopings. So a huge oscillations may occur due to high wind velocities, and internally because of current high voltages and currents passing through the transmission line, some vibrations are occurred in the transmission lines. So it has to the transmission or the material used in the type of conductors has to bear with these gallopings and vibrations. So we have to consider these vibrations are also as basic parameters while selecting a transmission. And surface shape. So surface shape means, so it is also one of the basic parameter. Some conductors, if we observe, it is round in shape, and some are in trapezoidal inflation. If we observe the strands present in the conductor, so in case of overhead lines, we cannot able to observe that shape of the conductor, but if we observe the underground cables, some cables are designed in trapezoidal fashion. So trapezoidal fashion, so it is having some more advantages. So shape of the conductor is also one parameter. So next, coming to fatigue resistance. Fatigue resistance means it is generally the resistance present at the junctions, or in some cases shoulderings or not shoulderings. So in case of at the junctions of transmission lines, when it is coupled to a towers or at the while crossing and any while junctions, so the resistance, overall resistance of the transmission line increases. That is can be treated as fatigue resistance. So while designing any transmission line, so these are the basic parameters. So we cannot consider all the basic, these are basic parameters. While designing any transmission line, we have to consider all these into consideration. But there is no unique procedure while designing transmission lines or distribution. So the process is not a unique procedure. It depends upon the environmental conditions. Environmental conditions means at seashores, we have to select one type of conductor for the same voltages. At whole countries where the ice present, we have to select one type of conductors. And similarly, so if we go for very high temperature locations, we have to select different types of conductors. So there is no certain procedure to design a particular conductor, but based on the above factor, considering all the above factors, we can design or we can select a transmission. So now, if we observe the major types of overhead line conductors generally used in transmission, there are some. Now coming to types of aluminum conductors. Aluminum, we have selected from the based on first class. We have selected aluminum as a conductor for transmitting power in case of high voltage transmission lines or even distribution systems. So if we observe the types of aluminum conductors, first one is solid conductors. The second one is hollow conductors. Next one is stranded conductors. Stranded conductors means, again, if we observe this conductor, so it is simply a small solid wires are twisted like this. So in a uniform fashion, so it consists of number of strands. So each and every solid piece is called as a strand. So generally there are so many advantages if we make in this fashion. So most of the cases we use for strands. we can also observe on the roadsides any conductor, either distribution system conductors or transmission conductors, these are of stranded type. So in this stranded type, here it is a solid type of conductor, this is hollow type, stranded type. So in standard type, AAC conductors. So to increase the tensile strength, so the conductors increase the mechanical strength, the stranded type of conductors are used. So we can easily mold, we can easily bend this conductor. So in case of solid conductor, it is not used and it is not easy to bend any conductor, or in case of even hollow conductor, it is having less mechanical strength when compared to this. So even though it is having greater mechanical strength, we cannot fold it or we cannot transport these conductors. So we have gone for stranded type of conductors. Next, coming to AAC conductors. AAC conductors means all aluminum conductors. Here it is, all aluminum conductors are called as AAC conductors. AAC means all aluminum alloy conductors. That is called all aluminum alloy conductors. Only aluminum conductors are used. Aluminum alloy conductors are used to increase the tensile strength of the material. Next, and conductivity of the material. So ACSR conductors, these conductors are generally most commonly used conductors are ACSR conductors. ACSR conductors means aluminum conductor steel reinforced. So these conductors is having high tensile strength, less weight. So when we go for less weight, automatically the maintenance cost is drastically reduced. So if the weight of the conductor reduces, thereby the span length, if we take, we can go for higher spans. Spans means the distance between towers, we can go for higher spans. So that's why we increase the tensile strength of the material. And this steel reinforced, that if we observe the conductor, so in between, so center of the conductor is steel. So outside conductors are aluminum conductors. So these strands are made up of aluminum. The internal strand is made up of steel. The next one is ACSS conductors. ACSS conductors means aluminum conductor steel structure. A part. This is aluminum conductor with steel structure. It also increases the mechanical strength of the aluminum conductors. Therefore, so these are also used. ACCR conductors. ACCR conductors means aluminum conductor composite reinforced. So here it is, composite material is used. Again, everything is reinforced because to increase the tensile strength of the system. So next, last one is ACCC. ACCC means aluminum carbon composite conductor. Here it is, aluminum carbon composite conductor. If we observe where it is going to use all these conductors, the first one is in the type of aluminum conductor, solid conductor. Solid conductor, generally we can observe the conductors, so used in substations. So generally, most commonly, if we observe for high voltage systems, high voltage substations, if we go for there to contact, because high currents takes place at particular junctions or particular locations. So there, for a shorter distance, for shorter lengths, this type of conductors, aluminum conductors, solid type of aluminum conductors are used. So if we go for Hollow type of conductors, this is also used only in substations. Generally, we come across where the switching takes place or where the circuit breaker operates. In some locations, isolators are made up of this type of hollow conductors, where the temperature, if the better cooling rate is, because of better cooling rate, this these conductors are preferred in case of substations. Or while isolator means if I want to isolate two transmission lines having high voltages. So if I want to switch from I want to switch the load from one line to other transmission line. So there I want to isolate one transmission line, and again we have to connect it to other one. There the temperatures, if I observe, the sparking is very high. So high temperatures actually. So it needs better cooling. So it has to come back normal position immediately after the switching operations. So in that case, we prefer aluminum conductor. Next, these are some of the applications. So if we can observe. So where these are nothing but solid conductors are used where in substations. So these solid conductors are preferred. Similarly, in substations for a better cooling, for shorter lengths, so we use hollow conductors. Next, coming to stranded conductors. Stranded conductors are made up of multi number of strands. So it is already we have just seen. So if we go for all aluminum conductors, this is, so all the conductors are made up of aluminum. So because of lightweight and conductivity is also good, so it is made up of aluminum rods. Yes, each and every this part is called strands. So made up of multiple number of strands. It is easy to bend and roll. So easy to transport. So because of advantages, so many advantages. So instead of going for a hollow and a solid type of conductor, if we match the same conductor as the multiple number of strands, so it is easy for this some more benefits. Next, all aluminum conductors, if we go, so all aluminum conductors with purity of 99.7%, high resistance to corrosion. So again we have to consider the environmental effect. So if we go for based on the environmental conditions, the corrosion takes place. That means that increases the maintenance cost. So maintaining high voltage transmission lines is not an easy task. In some foreign countries, these transmission lines insulator discs are cleaned using, or in some cold countries, some because of formation of ice, that can be removed by using helicopters. So high voltage transmission lines, maintenance of high voltage transmission lines is very costly. So even though if we observe the high voltage transmission line in case of fractions, there are certain division is there, that is hot line division. They work when the transmission line is in operation. So if we just switch off the high voltage transmission line, there is a huge loss. So that's why. So these are called that section is called hotline section. So only when the conductor is under operation, so the maintenance will carry out. So in that case, so high maintenance, corrosion, high resistance to corrosion. So maintenance to reduce the maintenance. So we have used aluminum installed in coastal areas. So whenever there is corrosion is maximum present at the coastal areas. But one more disadvantage is low tensile strength. Therefore, permit low span length. Already we have discussed span means from distance between one tower to other tower. So you will get this is nothing but from the distance between two towers. So if it is more, automatically the total number of towers is reduced. So when the total number of towers reduces, automatically it comes down, it brings down the cost of the erection. And also generally maintenance occurs at the junctions or at the towers. So where the insulators takes place, insulator failure may takes place, or some hotspots may occur at the, or some leakages may occur at the junction of the towers or at the towers. So if the number of towers reduced, automatically it reduces the maintenance cost or construction cost. So because of this disadvantage, low tensile strength, it permits low span. When the span is less, everything becomes costly. Even though the material cost is less, availability is more, the maintenance cost is very high. Therefore, so we have to select another type of conductor. That is, ACSR conductors, stranded aluminum conductors. So aluminum conductor, steel reinforced. So here, so this is made up of steel reinforced conductors, aluminum conductors, everything. So to increase the tensile strength, so here it is, steel is used. In some ACSR conductors, galvanized steel is also used. So galvanized steel stands at core surrounded by aluminum conductors. These are aluminum conductors. So steel conductors. High tensile strength. So automatically the steel increases the tensile strength of the conductor. Moderate expansion. So whenever there is a temperature change in temperature, a moderate expansion is high span lengths than AAC conductors. We can increase the span length. So what we have just now discussed, we can increase the span length, thereby we can reduce so many costs. Type of conductors, different types of conductors used in transmission system, high voltage transmission system. Is it clear? Can anybody tell me? Is it clear till now? We have selected first topic is materials used in the transmission line. The next one is the types of conductors. So anybody tell me the most commonly used conductors? Which type of conductors are used in transmission system? Number 221. Conductors used, types of conductors used in transmission system. Number 22118, B8 1A0221.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so tell me, types of conductors used in transmission system. Any person? Any other? So that is nothing but solid conductors. Second one is hollow conductors. AAC conductors, all aluminum conductors. So ACSR conductors, aluminum conductor, steel reinforced. So I have given a variety of conductors generally we come across in transmission system. So nobody is it okay. So if you want any other material, I will send you through mail or through WhatsApp.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So we'll continue in the next class, next session. Otherwise, if you are interested, okay, you can continue today. Now the time is 2:44. We'll continue up to 5 more minutes. Now coming to the types of conductors.